Welcome back to Possible Audio. In this video, we're replacing the main filtering caps on the Marantz 1060. Now we got one more video after this, and that's going to be cleaning all the controls and buttons and switches and little doodads and a few loose ends that need to be tied up. But that's on the next video. Like I said, we got this video and then one more left. So let's get to it and get those filtering caps installed. These are our three main filtering caps. And this one right here is the main one that filters the DC as it's coming in off the transformer. And these two are directly in the audio path. They're directly connected to the speakers. So it's important that we use a good quality low ESR cap for those two. And this is what I chose to go with. This right here is a Nichicon, known as a super through cap. It's 63 volts at 4700 microfarads, and we have a Nichicon. I think this is LNT is what the series is for this one. This is a high quality cap. It's got some screw terminals. It's just really nice, very heavy duty. So we're gonna put that in, and then another thing we're gonna do, let me slide this towards me a little bit. The wiring down here, we're gonna replace this wiring right here, that little bundle coming out. That's 22 gauge. We're going to upgrade that to 18. Let me flip it over and show you. So we're going to have to do a little modification to some of the wiring to put some terminals on and make it so we can use the screws right here on those. And when we're finished, it's going to look really good. So let me start taking it apart, and I'll get you back in here and we'll take another look. But I did loosen this one down here. Notice it's slotted. See down there, it's got a slot in the bracket. Same thing on this side. There's a slot in the bracket. So I loosened up those two. And then I loosened up this clamping screw and or bolt. And now this should be free enough. It should come out. And this is the same diameter on the new cap as the old one. So we're just going to leave this in place. Let's take a quick look under it. There shouldn't be anything attached, and there's not. It's just really snug in the bracket, and I can't get the bracket any looser. Well, for Pete's sakes, I ain't never seen. There we go. Got it out. This right here. I didn't have that loose enough. I thought I did, but I didn't. But if you look when I push on it, how that slot over here on this one gives it enough room to spread. Same thing here. And again, I left that one alone. I got the main cap installed, and I decided to do a little test fit. If you look right back here, there's a real small gap. See that really small gap in there? So I was thinking it was going to cause the holes on the cover to not line up or other fit issues. And see, you can see the main filter cap right there. It's just touching. But if you look at the sides, there's clear access to our screw holes. The other side as well. You can see right there. And this one right here, see, it's barely up. And I'm barely pushing down. So we're talking fractional. Awesome. Got the filtering caps installed. Look at that, like 3 little soldiers. So when they were out of place, before I bolted them down, I used a chopstick and my wipes, and I just cleaned up the chassis a little better from the dust. And taking a look at the bottom, we got plenty of clearance. You can see right there between the negative and the chassis. And then the positive We got lots of clearance there. And this is I think that's like a pressure release hole if this should malfunction. I'm assuming. Maybe some of you would know what that is and you can comment on it. Just wanted to show you quickly, I got the wiring done on the large filtering cap, and it was just really straightforward. I did decide to flip the cap 180 degrees because I wanted the negative to be, you know, if this should ever make contact, which I don't see how it could, but if it ever did make contact with the chassis, at least it's the negative. The way it was factory, the positive, you know, would have been making the contact if there was I don't know how that could happen, like I said, but you know, I just feel better about it being flipped, and it doesn't hurt nothing. You can flip these however you want to flip them. That's just how I did it. So yeah, I've been just working on the wiring. It's pretty straightforward. I had a twisted set of wires coming off of, I believe it's the negative speaker terminal, and then there was another black wire that came through here and attached, and then this right here is on a separate one. This is an 18 gauge, and that one's going to run over to our amplifier board. Before I put the ground strap back in place, which goes right here, I noticed, I don't know if you remember, but our wires were feeding underneath this tack strip. And when I went to the 18 gauge, it was, they were being pinched. And there's a sharp edge right in here. So I got to looking, this is slotted. So I loosened up this one and picked it up just a smudge. And now we got plenty of clearance for our wires to not be in a bind. Side note, I picked this up on Amazon, and I've needed one for a long time, and gosh, this thing is just, it's great. Holding things for me while I drill on it or hammer or whatever. I mean, I don't know why I didn't get one sooner, but highly recommend this model. This is not a product endorsement, by the way. This is just me going, hey, I like this. Just wanted to share. This is the chassis ground that runs to the output amplifier module, and it's located right here. I took that screw out and removed it, and of course separated the wire off of it. Now I've got to drill that hole slightly larger to accommodate the 18 gauge wiring. Okay, it was a little bit of a challenge working with that thicker wire, but I did get it done. Now right here on this one, it looks like it comes down and just goes around the post and then back around, but it actually wraps around it once. All of these are wrapped around it. Flipped it around the top side, dropped in our amplifier module, which was very uneventful. Just feed the 4 wires back into the loop, and then you're going to install way down there. There's a Phillips that goes right down in that little crevice. There's one here, and then there's a Phillips that's going to go right here and here. And I know some of you are going, those aren't Phillips, those are JIS. I call them Phillips because of people that don't know that they're JIS. And it just keeps things much more simple. All right, I got these 2 in. See, right down there. Get it in focus. There we go. Got that one in. This one, and well, I tell you what happened. A fellow went to put this in, and as he was picking it up off the workbench, the screw went bing, 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 and it was gone. So I got to get another one. Bottom side is wired, and now we got to flip it over, and we got a few more wires we got to solder into place. Main filter and caps are installed. Our amplifier module's in place, all wired. Everything's looking good. We're ready to go. I have sound coming through the Wing Mini, which is connected across the room to the computer. We have our dim bulb for a little protection. And my awesome neighbor Rick across the street's letting us use his Variac. So thanks, Rick. All right, so the plan is we're going to bring this up slowly. And that way the caps can form under a more controlled environment. You know, these caps are not cheap and getting harder to find. So let's just try to eliminate any problems by doing a controlled power up. All right, let's take this thing live, see what happens. Okay, we got our dim bulb is turned on. I need to hit the power switch on our Variac. And hang on, let me turn on the power switch on that. Okay, that's all ready. So Variac on. It's buzzing. That's cool. Okay. All right, let's bring it up to 25 volts. Let it sit right there for a minute. And let's get our music going. Let's see if that even works, getting our music going. Yep, it did. Okay, we got music going. A little volume. Already music coming out at 25 volts. But it's distorted. All right, let's give it a little more power. I know you probably can't hear that, but it's playing. It's kind of distorted. Let's go to 35. A little better. Let's give that a minute. I don't want to rush it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let this sit at 35 volts for a minute, okay? So I'm going to cut out that 1 minute. All right. It's been 1 minute. Let's go up to 55. Let's go a little more. Now it picked up some volume. We're at 65 volts. Not sure if you can hear that. It's exciting. Love it. I mean, I'm having so much fun doing this. I mean, I hope you have as much fun as I am. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. Okay, 75. 75 volts going in. And of course, it is on a bulb. That's a 116 watt bulb, by the way. Okay, let's go a little more. 85. Can you hear that? I think you can. And it sounds great. Let's go more. There's 95. Let's give it a little bit more volume. Okay. Let's go 105. All right, we're not quite there. We're at 105. Let's want to give it a minute and we'll go a little more. Let's go. Oh, 115. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to call that successful. So we still got more stuff to do, okay? This ain't the end of the build. We still got to clean all of the buttons and switches and evaluate them. And there's a few loose ends I need to tie up as well. And then after we do that, we're going to throw it on the oscilloscope and we'll see what it can do. And as always, I'm glad you could be here. Please like and subscribe on the channel. It really helps it out in the algorithm for YouTube. I mean, I've had over 30,000 views in the last 3 months, and there's only like 435 subscribers, I think. So if you could do that, that would really help out the channel. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you could be here, as always. And I hope everybody's doing good and you have an awesome day. This is one of the smaller caps. It's 3,000 microfarads. Let's see. Let's give it a test. Yep. Let's see what the other one measures as. Yep. And the large filtering cap. Yep. Mm-hmm.